Mr. Guest is recognized for 5 minutes for questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank all of our guests for joining us today. After we've seen the incredible growth of AI, we know that that AI can be used to gather and analyze data. We know that AI has both offensive and defensive capabilities, and with all technology, that AI can be used for good and evil. But specifically, as we drill down today on Homeland Security and looking at the role that AI is playing in Homeland Security, I think it's easy for many of us to see the role that AI plays in cybersecurity. And we've heard testimony about the offensive and defensive capabilities of AI in the cyber world. But I want to talk a little bit about the role that AI may play in securing our physical borders. One of the things that this committee has been focused on is trying to secure our southwest border. We know that last year there were 3.2 million encounters on the southwest border, a record number of encounters that we're on track to break that record again this year. We know from statements that the Secretary of Homeland Security has been reported that he's made that 85% of those individuals encountered are at some point released into the interior. And so my question is, how can we use AI to better identify the individuals that are being encountered? Because I have a great fear that we are not identifying and properly vetting those individuals before they are released into the interior. I know, and I'll start with you, Mr. Amlani, you talk a little bit in your written testimony about biometrics and the use of biometrics and the Maryland biometrics test and their facility and the things that y'all are doing. And so I would ask maybe first if you could start off, and then if anyone else would like to join in, how can we within the Department of Homeland Security better use AI to identify the numerous individuals that we are encountering on a daily basis along the southwest border so that we're not allowing people into the country that would cause ill will. People who may have criminal records, criminal backgrounds. We see people all the time who are apprehended that they may have a tie to some sort of terrorist organization, or individuals who have previously been arrested and convicted of violent crimes in other countries. And so how can we use AI to better vet those individuals, to do so in a more timely fashion before they're released? And so I'll start with you, allow you to kick that off, and then would ask anyone else who would like to join in to please continue in this discussion.
Thank you, Congressman, for the question. This is a very important question in my mind. We at iProof obviously cannot speak on behalf of DHS, but I can speak on behalf of my experience in 2003 at the Department of Homeland Security, originally launching new technologies like biometrics at the border. Secretary Tom Ridge did assess biometrics as one of the core technologies to be able to improve the department's capabilities, improving throughput, as well as being able to improve security at the same time. My personal experience with biometrics was actually introduced to me first in 2003, U.S. Visit program, when it was rolled out at airports for the first time. For people coming into the country that were not citizens, we actually used fingerprint technology at the borders, and it was very eye-opening for me, for people walking up to a Customs and Border Patrol agent who had a look of fear in their eyes, about to be asked a significant set of intrusive questions and disclosing a lot of private information, who then put their fingerprint down on the device, and to have the Customs and Border Patrol agent say, "Welcome to the United States." That sole interaction for me was something that lit a fire within me over the last 20 years to recognize that this was not just a security tool and a capability that was focused on law enforcement, but actually a tool for consumers to be able to allow themselves to be able to protect their own privacy and have better experiences.
Anyone else like to add in? Yes, sir.
I would just add that this is, I think, a very good example of how input data, what you're putting into a system, and the quality can make such a difference. In biometrics and facial recognition fields, a photo that is done good lighting, close up, clean profile, such as a DMV photo or a photo during processing and booking, that is much more likely to yield accurate results than, say, if you're taking something in the field from a distance if I just took my smartphone and tried to click a picture of you now, or if someone was taking a photo at night. So it's, I think, a prime example of when you're talking about something like during processing, why those different situations can make such a difference about whether AI is reliable or not. It really is highly situational.
With either our other two witnesses, I'll give both of you an opportunity before I yield back, if anyone would like to add to the discussion. Mr. Chairman, I'm over time, so I yield back.